What's up, everybody, and welcome back. I apologize for the random background today, but we are getting ready to move. I got some other stuff set up where I'm normally at, so I'm just going to do this one kind of on the fly today. I want to talk about this Tom Brady signing event that just took place down in Miami. It's really got some hobby guys fired up, so we are going to talk about this. I really am curious to hear what you guys have to say also, because I think that my opinion apparently is on the unpopular side according to some of the comments I got back with some of these Facebook posts. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of run down the whole situation for you guys, and you can let me know in the comments below what you think of this, if I am just crazy out of line for this, or if the other side maybe should be taking a little bit more responsibility than they have so far. So let's go ahead and jump into this. It's coming from a Tom Brady Facebook group that I am in. I'm just going to read through a couple of the posts that were in there and then give you some feedback about kind of the way that I came about this and what exactly happened. So bear with me. I'm going to read through a couple of things. This is the first post that was on there. I'm not going to name any names or anything, just to make sure that nobody gets even more butthurt than they already are. So let's go ahead and talk about this. The first guy that posted in the group said, making this post with mixed emotions and still trying to process things. So today was at the Tom event in Miami that we've been seeing advertised. Let me first start by saying that this post has nothing to do with the team that put this together, as none of this was their fault, and the blame rests solely on Tom and Fanatics. So again, not blaming the promoters, is blaming, though, Fanatics and Tom Brady for this debacle that took place. So let's see what else we got here. Tom Brady was supposed to sign for 100 people with no item restrictions. Well, of course, Fanatics shows up with Tom, and what most people got was far worse than a tornado Tom. So if you're not familiar, a tornado Tom is basically when Tom Brady's really rushed and just signs quickly, doesn't actually take his time to do like a typical signature that you'd see on some authenticated items, etc. Obviously, this got people pretty worked up. So let's go ahead and continue reading through this post here. People found out after meeting Tom that he didn't sign cards, and there were a lot of people that brought cards that ended up with no item signed. Again, not a great look here. Again, Tom's fault and Fanatics, since the contract that was signed didn't stipulate any restrictions. I will tell you also that this event, in order to attend, was $3,600. People had to pay that to be able to attend this event. Again, it says it's for 100 people. They did get like an inspirational talk from Tom Brady. Then were promised a couple of items signed. I believe it was 1 or 2 items. And then they also had a photo taken with Tom Brady at the end as well. I'm going to continue through the rest of the post here. I had my 2000 draft ticket and was told that Tom didn't sign tickets either. And after seeing some of these signatures, I was almost relieved because of the scarcity of the ticket. Tom ended up signing my ticket, and even though he didn't sign with the pen/color that I asked and gave a poor quality signature, I consider myself lucky and blessed that I got what I got, because there were far worse quality signatures that Tom was doing. So obviously, as reading through this post, and you're going to find out here because I'm going to post a couple of pictures also, people were really, really upset basically by the quality of the signatures that were provided. So instead of doing like a T and then his normal signature, if you guys want to go on to like eBay or anything, obviously you can see a bunch of Tom Brady signatures, whether it's on cards, jerseys, tickets, other things like that. He has a typical signature that he does. It's a little bit different, though, than like his 2000 signature when he was still, getting drafted, or even some of his college signatures. It's changed over the years, but has a pretty consistent signature that you see on a lot of autographed memorabilia. However, he was in a hurry. Obviously, he's trying to do this event. He's signing a bunch of items, and he's trying to get them out as quickly as possible, I would assume, and he's probably being rushed by either his assistants or Fanatics or whoever, but basically wasn't signing up to what people would consider a high quality for paying $3,600 to attend this event. We'll come back to that here in a minute. I want to finish this post here really quick. So this guy says, prior to meeting Tom and getting our items, we got to hear an incredible speech by him. He talked a lot about the energy and effort and how he was at Michigan and went to a sports psychologist that turned him around mentally to put in effort on every single snap in practice, and even as he was practicing as fourth-string quarterback. Goes on to say a little bit more about this. Well, Tom, these words are motivational until we saw the lack of effort that you put in with the signatures that we paid a lot of money for. $3,600 isn't cheap, and to hear you preach one thing and then act completely opposite really loses a lot of credibility with your fans and the people that spent their hard-earned money for this experience. Reflecting on the words of Tom and focusing on what I can control, I'm grateful that I wasn't one of the people that received a worse quality signature than what I got. I'm grateful that I'm one of the people that actually got my item signed by Tom, but you owe better effort to those that paid for their hard-earned money expecting better from you. All right, so I'm also going to pop up some of the pictures here so you guys can see these. I will admit, I mean, they're not a great signature. Tom was obviously rushing when he was signing these things. But my opinion on this is that some of these guys that are going on to these Facebook platforms, social media, etc., and complaining about what Tom Brady did when he was signing or what Fanatics did when they showed up, and they said that there were no restrictions, and then supposedly there were, but he still got his ticket signed, so I'm not really sure what the actual restrictions were. I don't really agree with that at all. I kind of think that these people are just way out of line by complaining about what they received. When you see this event come available and the opportunity is there to go meet someone who's been, an idol of yours for a very long time, you're going to pay $3,600, which I will agree is a lot of money for most people, right? $3,600 is not like it's $50 or $100, right? You have to save up, I'm guessing, to go and attend an event like this. So if you're paying $3,600 of your hard-earned money, you do get an inspirational speech from the guy who, you've been a huge fan of for a very long time. You also do get 1 or 2 items signed. You get a photo with that person. And so my biggest thing here is that these guys are placing a lot of blame on Tom Brady and on Fanatics specifically for showing up to this event and kind of ruining it in a way. And this is my whole take on this. And the reason why I feel like these people are whining and why they're a bunch of grown men that are acting like crybabies is if you decide to spend that kind of money and you attend this event, this is not something that Tom Brady has to do. He doesn't owe his fans anything. He doesn't owe anyone anything, right? He's lived his life. He's done his thing. He's been a professional athlete. He's been one of the greatest of all time. He's doing this to give back to his fans and say thank you. And he's allowing them to come to an event where he wants to talk about, his life, his story, those kinds of things. And he's also doing a meet and greet, right? You get a photo with him. You probably get to say a few words. And then he's signing some items. He is not under any obligation to sign your item in a specific way, with a specific marker or a specific color. And if every single person that attends every single event like his, imagine if you were Tom Brady, if every single person wanted a specific item signed a specific way with a specific color and a specific type of marker, that would get very old and you probably would not feel like giving back to your fans any longer. It wouldn't be fun for you and it's not something that you would want to do. So I realize that these people paid a lot of money for this, but from Tom's perspective, he's got to get through this event and he needs to fulfill his obligation, obviously, because he made a promise to them that he would show up and he would do this. But I feel like these people are just really expecting a lot more. And I kind of relate it back to this. Like, if you were an 8-year-old and you attended this event and this was like, let's say you're an 8-year-old now and you're going to an event to see like Patrick Mahomes because you're a Kansas City fan. He's like your favorite player of all time. If you show up to this event and you pay good money, or your parents pay good money, let's say, because you're an 8-year-old, you go to the event, and the fact that the person is there speaking to you in such a small venue, and the fact that you get to interact with them on such a personal level and get a photo taken with them and get something hand signed by them, you would go home and you would be happy with what you received, and you would always cherish that. You would keep that item, and you would know that you physically saw that person there at that event. You got the item signed by them, and it would go into your collection, and it would be a huge deal. The reason why these guys are so irritated by this is because the signature is not perfect. With the signature not being so perfect, they are afraid that it's not going to pass authentication. Now, what does that mean? Why is there any significance to that? Well, if their item doesn't pass authentication, it means that they're not going to be able to get something that says it's legit to be able to resell it. So I think that's where a lot of the problem with me lies with some of these guys, is they're grown men and they're complaining about not getting this perfect signature on this one-of-a-kind item. And I understand that you want it to be in nice, pristine condition and get the best signature, but that's not always feasible. I wasn't there. I didn't attend the event, so I don't know what it was like. But you can't just expect to get something just because you have gone there and attended it and want it a specific way. Like, you don't control that. There are other people in between kind of trying to get your item signed, or maybe you hand it directly to the player, and they're trying to do this for a whole bunch of people. So you can't control anything other than yourself. And putting that expectation on someone to do it for you in the way that you envisioned is just not realistic. So wanting that perfect signature is a little bit ridiculous. And I think that really comes back to one of the reasons why I kind of got out of the hobby too, is just that there's so many people like this. It seems like since 2019, 2020, everyone's gotten so involved in the money aspect and the greed that they're just so irritated when they don't get specifically what they want because it's going to hurt their resale value. I'm not able to get it authenticated now. How am I going to sell it? Nobody else is going to want it. Like, this event that was put on by Tom Brady for his fans is not for you to go and make money. It should not be an opportunity for you to get a one-of-a-kind item signed so that you can sell it and make, $10,000 or $12,000 or whatever, right? Just because you have a ticket from the 2000 draft and that item in a specific condition is fairly rare, and so getting it signed by Tom Brady is going to make it even more rare. If you don't cherish that, and if you're not doing it for the right reasons and putting it in your collection, I have a huge problem with that. I mean, yes, there's always going to be people that are going to be out there trying to resell and flip and do these kinds of things, but like, you're paying good money to go see someone that really has a value to you more than just the money, or at least that's how I feel like it should be. So it's just an absolute joke to me. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below, and let me know if I'm on the right side or if I'm on the wrong side, and maybe Tom Brady and Fanatics should do a better job of offering something more to their customers because they are selling something. But I think that some of the guys, some of the grown men that are in this hobby that are just crying because they didn't get, the right signature, the right way, and the right color, I think they're way out of line. I am going to put up a snippet of another post here too. I don't really want to give this guy the time of day, so I'm not going to go into like super in-depth specifics. He had, again, another like 5-6 paragraph post because these guys were really, really butthurt about this. But I'm just going to read one paragraph out of here. I'm going to show this to you guys just from this guy's post too. So he's saying that there were less than 100 items to be signed. The items that I brought in total probably totaled close to 6 figures in value and were one-of-one items in totality, as were many of the items that I saw being taken in. Mind you, I had the items marked accordingly how I wanted them signed with painter's tape, post-it notes, and a Prisma silver paint pen prepped and ready and taped to the items, to which I was told by someone that I knew in the room would be helping prep the items that when Brady's assistant came into the room, she took all the post-it notes off and everything and said, "Tom knows what he's doing." So, again, this person right here is saying that they got all this stuff ready in their own mind. They had this stuff prepped. They had a vision for what they wanted. They chose to bring one-of-one type unique items for him to sign and had this expectation, and they were close to 6 figures in value. Tom Brady and the team that's putting this on doesn't give a shit what your stuff is worth, and they don't want you doing this for value. Like, Tom Brady doesn't do these events for value. He doesn't do this to give you an opportunity to go get a unique item signed so that you can sell it and make money. That's not what this is all about. It's about him giving back to his fans and the people that watched him play ball and appreciated what he did on the field and want just the opportunity to be in his presence and get a photo with him and share a cool moment with someone that they idolized. It shouldn't be about the value at all. So putting that in your post and saying how you took these invaluable items and now you feel like they're ruined because they got, scribbled on by Tom Brady. They were still signed by Tom Brady. So what that you can't get it authenticated and you can't sell it? You can put it in your collection and you can cherish that thing forever. It's a prized possession for you. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it, and I will catch you next time.